Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to this online stream of our Stipendium Hungaricum event from Corvinus University of Budapest. It is my absolute pleasure to have you all here online. Thank you for your patience. We won't waste any more time. Let's go ahead and start the presentation. We wanted to make sure that you have all the information that we can give you about the program and about the requirements at the university here, so that you can make a successful application in the coming months. Or if you have made an application already, then you can work with our admissions team to ensure that you give yourself the best chance. If we move to the next slide, I will quickly share with you what we will be talking about today. So firstly, I'm going to briefly introduce the team, the recruitment team who you will be engaging with over the next few months. I'm going to briefly talk about the university for you. This is important. This is a huge decision that you are making. You can only make a limited number of applications, and it's a big, big life decision. So let's see if I can help you with some information about the uni, and not just the university, but our context here in Budapest, here in Hungary. After that, I'm going to hand over to my colleagues within the University Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship Office, who will talk you through the formal details around the program. Then we will cover the application process, some important dates. You will receive some tips about writing a high-quality application, the Corvinus University specific entrance examinations and requirements. And I'm delighted to say that you will also meet a couple of our student ambassadors. We have Nurgul with us and we have Michael, who are both Stipendium Hungaricum students already at our university. And then, of course, we have time for questions and answers, but the questions can just flow. As you know, I can see that you are already successfully using the chat, so that's brilliant. So let's just have a look at who we have here today and who you will be engaging with over the next few months. The first person is myself. I don't think I mentioned my name yet, so Marianne, or for short, Mari Baker. I'm head of student recruitment at the university. We have with us Victoria Kuhlman-Bundy, who is our recruitment officer. And we also have Saba Gagosidze, who I'm delighted to say is also a Stipendium Hungaricum student at the university. Saba is working in the background answering your questions. Saba's been working with our office for the past year and is very experienced in everything that you need to know. So if we move on to the next slide, as I promised, I really want to say just a couple of words about our university's extremely strong position in the higher education landscape. There is a reason why we chose this slogan that you see here, empowering minds and shaping futures. We are truly a leading university for business, economics, and social sciences. That is true here in Hungary. We certainly welcome the most excellent students here from Hungary, so you will have the chance to study alongside them if you are successful in your Stipendium Hungaricum application. We have close to 9,000 students, about 20% or just below of whom are international students. We have different types of international students, not just scholarship holders. We also have students who self-fund their studies. We have 120 years of history behind us, and we have many famous alumni who studied here, who are now in leadership positions, or who were in leadership positions in the world of business and banking, and some even in politics. We have a beautiful and historic city center main campus building. You have a little flavor of that behind me, and in some of the images I really invite you to explore the history of this area, which has always been a very busy and bustling commercial area. So it's befitting that the university such as ours is based here today. But it's not just these old buildings. We have extremely up-to-date, modern, state-of-the-art facilities as well. The building that my own team are based in is a modern facility, and we have just recently opened our Gellert campus on the other side of the river from us, which you will hear a little bit more about in a moment from my colleague. Back to the university status then for a little while. So we have really high rankings in the QS systems in our niche program areas such as business and management, economics and social sciences. And we also are part of global university networks such as, for example, SEMS. And most recently, we joined another one called QTEM, which allows our students to study alongside students from really and truly the best business-oriented schools or business universities in the world. We also have a couple of high-profile accreditations, such as the AMBA and the AACSB accreditations. We haven't got time to discuss these in detail. I just want to highlight these for you so that you can go and find out for yourself just who we are rubbing shoulders with in the world of business education. We also have, thanks to our position here in the capital of Hungary, unparalleled corporate relations with very high-profile companies that can provide our students with internships and networks that will be valuable for life. I don't need to go far for an example. Saba, as I mentioned, our student worker has just finished an internship with his country's embassy. He was working there for 3 months. I mean, for someone who is studying international relations, what an amazing opportunity. And that was possible because we are in Budapest and because all the embassies are located here in the capital city. Alongside all of this, we are highly affordable, especially given the generous scholarship that you are looking to attract. And we provide a very high quality education that will really put you in good stead for the rest of your career. We have some statistics here about the fact that our graduates tend to earn 60% higher 7 years after graduating than students from other universities. And we have the reference here, so you can check out the link for yourself later when we share the presentation. So the next slide then will give you just a little more information about this beautiful city that is Budapest. Not only is it beautiful, it is also an extremely important business hub within the region. And we have more than 150 multinational companies based here. I already referred to our corporate relations. This is what it's all about, guys, when you are studying business, economics, and social sciences. Hungary is also, and Budapest, the city, is rich in history, in culture, and also in entertainment. Excuse me. Just recently, Budapest has been voted by students as one of the best cities in Europe for student life. And there are many good reasons for that. Hopefully our student ambassadors can elaborate on that a little later. Hungary can be viewed as a bit of a meeting point between East and West. Yes, we are in Central Europe, and we have obviously EU membership, have done for a good 20 years now. But we have very, very good connections with the rest of the world as well. This scholarship and the existence of this scholarship is a testimony to that. If you think about Hungary's contribution to science and arts and culture globally, just have a look on maybe Wikipedia or some other platforms. You will find so much information about Nobel Prize winners, about inventors and very, very famous thinkers. So I just want to encourage you that you will be taught here by very high-profile academics, and that we are in that tradition where we value knowledge dearly. And I want to emphasize the affordability again. In comparison to Western Europe, you could pick any country. You don't need to go as far as the UK, for example. This is a very livable country and city. I'm also showing here some of the logos of the companies that we have links with, which our students can hopefully capitalize on. If we move to the next slide, you will have, before we move on to the very serious part of the presentation, which is the actual scholarship information, we just wanted to also assure you that we have accommodation available. So not only do we give you high quality education, we also provide accommodation, and these are just some of the dorms that you can access in terms of accommodation. And we are most proud of the most recent addition to our portfolio, which is the Gellért campus. Well, that's on the next slide, I believe. And the Gellért campus is not only a dorm, but it's also a teaching and research and social and sporting facility. I don't think I've worked in higher education for a long time, but I don't think I've seen such a stunning and student-centered and truly 21st century building. Can we take a look at the next slide for this, please? Can I hand over to my colleague Vicky here for a second?
Hello everyone, I'm Vicky. Probably we already been in contact via email regarding your application. So I just wanted to tell you a few words about the new Gellért campus. On the right side, you can see a YouTube video, which I will not be able to play to you right now. But if you go to our YouTube channel, probably that's going to be the first video after this live that you can check, so you can actually visualize how the new campus is looking. So this campus has been opened this spring semester, so it's really brand new, and it also has a dormitory attached and a big sports center with a new gym, a climbing wall, outdoor sport and ball game fields, and a lot of fun stuff. Also, two of our program exclusively takes place on this campus, which is the PP and data science. And our ambassador Nurgul, at the end of the webinar, will talk about more about the campus and her experience on this program. And I will hand back to Mari.
Thank you, Vicky. And actually, I'm simply going to hand over to our colleague now from the Stipendium Hungaricum Corvinus University office, so that she can talk you through the scholarship details. Over to Zsófi. Excellent.
Hello everyone, I'm very happy to have you all here. I'm Zsófia from the Stipendium Hungaricum office, and let me introduce you in a nutshell the Stipendium Hungaricum program. The Stipendium Hungaricum program was is the most prestigious higher education scholarship program in Hungary, and it was funded by the Hungarian government in 2013. So actually last year we celebrated the 10th birthday of the program with a lot of events, and it was very nice. And it was funded by the Hungarian government with the aim, in order to attract top international students from all around the world, to promote the good reputation and competitiveness of Hungarian higher education, to support the internationalization of Hungarian higher education, and to strengthen the international relations of academic and research community. It is maintained by the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs and Trade and supervised by the Tempus Public Foundation. And there are more than 90 sending partners, almost 100. And between Hungary and the sending countries, there are bilateral educational cooperation agreements between the ministries responsible for education of Hungary and the third countries. And let's have a short look at the Stipendium Hungaricum program in numbers. There are 30 Hungarian higher education institutions participating in the program, and more than 800 full degree and non-degree programs are offered within the scholarship program, mostly in English language, but also in other languages. Some of them are offered in Hungarian language. And almost 100 sending countries are participating in the program. So from a lot of countries, we can receive applicants. And over 11,000 Stipendium Hungaricum students are currently studying in Hungary. And most of them, so almost 100% of them, would probably choose Hungary again to continue their studies here. And the last year, 6 new sending countries joined the program. In the last academic year, we have more than 66,000 applications. It is a 16% increase in comparison to the previous year. As I mentioned, 30 higher education institutions offering places for the applicants. And most of the applications, so 97% applied for full degree programs from over 90 sending partners. And the top 5 most popular fields are engineering science, computer science and information technology, health science, economic science, and natural science. And as you can see on this diagram, we can receive students from 5 continents. And we offer full degree programs in all academic level, bachelor and master programs, and also in doctoral level, we offer doctor programs. And some very useful information about the program. Basically, all of them are the same in all the study levels, but there are a few differences between the bachelor, master, and the doctoral level. Bachelor and master level, all the students receive exemption from paying the tuition fee, and they receive a monthly stipend of 43,700 forints. This is a contribution to the living expenses in Hungary, but it's very important to emphasize that this cannot cover the whole living costs in Hungary, but this can be a good contribution to it. And there is also an accommodation allowance, which is either 40,000 forints per month or a dormitory placement. It's also very important to highlight that the 40,000 forint cannot cover the whole, for example, renting a flat or a room in a flat, but it can be a contribution to the living costs. And in the program, also medical insurance is covered for the students. 2 types of medical insurance. One is the Hungarian governmental medical insurance, the so-called TAI card, and the other one is a supplementary private medical insurance. And the doctoral students receive the same services, but they get more monthly stipend in the first phase of the 4-year-long study program. So in the first 2 years, they receive 140,000 forint, and the second 2 years they receive 180,000 forint. But all the other conditions of the scholarship program are same for the from the doctoral students from financial point of view. And let me give the floor to my colleague Vicky.
Hello everyone again. So from now on, I will talk about the scholarship, what kind of program you can choose, what documents you need to apply, what's the timeline, and make sure you try to listen the whole presentation of this part. If you have any questions, you can leave comments on YouTube or on Facebook. Saba will moderate in the background, and he will collect some questions at the end on the Q&A. I will try to cover most of your questions in this presentation, but if there's something that you think I didn't really explain well, just ask in the comments and we will try to answer at the end. So for first, this is the list of bachelor and master's program that you can apply via the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship. There are 7 bachelor programs and multiple 2-year and 1-year master's programs. We also, as Zsófi said, we also have doctoral programs, but if you have any question related to PhD, please email to this email address that you can see on the slide, the second one, because that office can help you with the application related to PhD studies. With bachelors and masters, you can email to international.study, where me and Saba is going to answer to your questions. So most of you already know that this is the starter page of Stipendium Hungaricum. Here you can find every information that you need if your country is a part of the program, what kind of program you can apply to, and the call for application that helps you explain the whole process, which I recommend to read. And also here you can see the web page where you can actually start your application. Most of you already done that. So let's see the dates, and this is the timeline. So right now you have exactly 1 month to submit your application. So if you haven't started yet, I recommend to start it as soon as possible because you only have this 1 month. You have to go to Stipendium website, create a profile, fill out your dates and data, and upload your documents. And at the end of February, there is going to be a nominational period where you will be nominated by your sending country. And if you are the lucky one who are being nominated, then the university will invite you to their internal entrance exam. As you can see, in case of Corvinus, and most of the universities probably going to hold these interviews, entrance exam, whatever, in April and the beginning of May. If you successfully pass these entrance exam, then you probably have to upload some documents like a final certificate and wait for the Hungarian government to allocate the scholarship. So as you can see, this is a 3-step process. So the Hungarian government will allocate the scholarship, and if you're allocated, then Corvinus can give you the final acceptance letter. If at any point at the nomination or at the final allocation, if you for some reason you fail, you can still apply the self-funded student if you wish. So as I said, just in numbers about the nomination, it's really important to know that it's your country who is deciding on the nomination, not Corvinus or any other universities that you apply to. And last year we had around 6,000 applications just to Corvinus itself. And at the end, as you can see, around 3,000 who actually awarded by the scholarship. So it's really, really competitive. But as I said, you still have a chance to get in as a self-funded student. And these numbers are only for bachelor and master studies. So PhD is also out of this calculation that you can see. And let's dive into the application process and some tips that I would like to highlight for you for the next few months. So when you do your application, it's a university application, so take it seriously. Make sure you have all your details and data correctly. So use English, Latin characters. Do not write your name with lowercase, for example. Make sure you apply all your documents that you already have upfront. So if you have an English language certificate that you already have on hand, just upload it. Don't wait until the final deadline. And this goes for all documents, basically. As you can see, and if you applied, you can know that you have 2 program priority that you can choose from. So that means that you can apply to 2 programs. These 2 programs can be both the Corvinus, maybe you apply to Corvinus and somewhere else. If you really want to come to Corvinus, I recommend to choose 2 Corvinus programs and make sure that your first choice, your first priority, that's how we call it, is the program that you really want to go for, because that's the highest chance that you can get into. If you don't get into your first priority for some reason because of your entrance exam results, you still have a chance to get into your second priority. And please keep in mind that, as you can see, last year we received thousands of applications. We try to answer as many questions as we can, but we are a small team. So please make sure that you read all the resources and you're trying to be proactive with your application, because most of the answers can be found like in 5 minutes if you go to Stipendium or to Corvinus website itself. Here, this is the application website of Stipendium. When you start your application, you open this Dream Apply platform. On the top right, you can choose your country, which is really important because not every program is available in every country. In most cases, you can apply to everything, but there are some cases where you can only apply, for example, only masters. So make sure you change your country and then you filter to Corvinus so you can see all the available programs for you. Oops. And then if you have a list of programs that you can filter what do you want to actually study, make sure to research that programs. You can do that either on the Dream Apply website, where we list the overview of this program, that what you can expect, what kind of entrance exam you need, what kind of documents you need. And you can find this information on the website as well. It's the same information. So all the relevant information that you need probably it's on our website or on the Stipendium Dream Apply platform. This is just a few tips when it will come to your motivational letter, because this is not a Corvinus requirement, it's a Tempus requirement when you make your application. So this is just a very short introduction to it. It doesn't have to be too long, like 1 or 2 pages is enough. You have to write one for each programs that you apply to. As you studied the program, your chosen program, you can use that as a base that why do you want to apply to that program, what motivates you. You can check even the curriculum on our website. If you can't find it, we can also help with that. And get your teachers, friends, and family to help out with your motivational letter. So first I will explain the application and the documentation when it comes to bachelor application. So if you want to come for a 3 or 4 years undergraduate degree, this is for you. So you only need a few documents. So it's really easy. Actually, it's a very simple process. So first of all, you need a minimum B2 language knowledge, which is proven by a language certificate. Here you can see the list that Corvinus accepts, and we only accept these language certificates. So if you have something from your school that they given you, that's not going to be enough for us. You have to show up one of these documents. We will also need your passport, your high school transcripts, which is 3 or 4 years. It depends on your country's education. And we will need your high school diploma after you graduated. So most probably that's going to be next May, June, or July. As an extra document, I listed here the medical certificate, which is also a scholarship requirement, just like the motivational letter. This certificate will be provided by Tempus, and you will have to upload it until 15th of April. Corvinus itself will also approve this document, but it's Tempus who is going to provide all the details on this one. And as I said, don't wait until the final deadline, which is 1st of August. With most of these documents, provide everything upfront if you can, so your application can be more smooth. When it comes to undergraduate entrance exam, which will decide on your admission to Corvinus eventually, it's not your GPA or your grades or your school overall 3 or 4 year performance. What decides is these entrance exams. So if you apply to do any business or economics programs at Corvinus, we will require you to write a mathematics entrance exam. This will be online. You will have like 5 days to sit down and do this proctor test. You can find prep material on our website as well. This test is pretty similar to the SAT, if you are familiar with that. So that can help to a little bit visualize, but also the practice test is there for you. If you apply to communications or international relations, you will have an interview with 2 to 3 people from the program director, for example. It's a 15-minute interview about your motivation and your background knowledge if you fit to this program. And in case of the PPE, which is politics, philosophy, and economics, you have to do both because it's kind of a mixture of these two fields. So for this entrance exam and English proficiency, we give you the chance to use exemptions. So in case of English proficiency, if you taking A level or IB or something like that, you might be able to use this as an English proficiency, but only if you have these certificates already. So we can't wait until end of August to your A level, because the application process is not managed by only Corvinus, it's by Tempus, and the deadlines are more strict in this case. Same goes for the mathematics entrance exam. If you're taking SAT, for example, or you having an IB diploma and you take mathematics, if you graduating like in IB this May, you will receive only your results in July, August, which is really late because you are a scholarship applicant and the deadline is much earlier. So if you already have these papers because you had a gap year, for example, between your high school and university studies, this might help you. But make sure to check out the website because all these exemptions have a minimum score that you have to reach. And as I said, you have to have these documents already. And also our entrance exams are free when it comes to the mathematics or the interviews, so you can't lose anything if you take those. Let's turn to the master's applications. That's also, we try to make it as simple as we can. So first and foremost, you will need your final bachelor degree and your transcripts. Also, if you don't have your degree on hand at the moment, like right now, you will have time to upload it. We also need your passport and the medical certificate later. As I said, is the same for as it was at the bachelor programs. And if you have GMAT, MAT, or GRE certificates or results already, you can also upload those. I will explain this soon as well. So the GMAT, NMAT, and GRE has something to do with the entrance exam on the master's program. So your admission is based on either one of these exams or either on the internal written exam that you take at Corvinus. So you have basically 2 or 3 choices when it comes to the application. You have a GMAT score, you upload it to your profile, and if you have this minimum score that we listed on this slide, your admission score will be based on that GMAT score, for example. If you have any of these 3 or 4 exams, please upload it until the beginning of April, because we can't wait longer because you are a scholarship applicant and because of the deadlines. If you don't have a GMAT, NMAT, or GRE exam already, our admission team will invite you to an internal written online exam, which is completely free compared to the GMAT, NMAT, or GRE. We developed 2 types of exam, type A and type B. The type A is basically the same as these mentioned exams. So for basically all economic and business programs. The type B is for communication masters and international relations masters applicants who doesn't want to get involved with too much of mathematics. So we've taken out of those parts of the test, so it's a little bit different. There's a third option, which is only an option only to a few of you if your degree is accredited by ACSB, EQUIS, or SAMS. This is usually true for business universities. Your faculty, your degree has to be accredited, and the minimum grade has to be B. If you have a different grading system, make sure that your grade is equal to this 4 or B. So this is the 3 options. I know it can sound overwhelming and a bit complicated, but if you will have any questions, you can inquire us, ask us, and we make sure that in your case what needs to be done. Something to add, that the entrance exam, some program also comes with an interview, not just these written exams. Here you can see the list of those programs. So if you apply public policy, for example, you have to take our internal written exam, and then you will have to take an interview with the board. This is only a few programs, so make sure that what's your program requirement. And this information is also on the Dream Apply. So if you go to your chosen program, you can see if it comes with an interview or not. Just to visualize the scoring a little bit. So as you can see, when it comes to the written exam, you can either upload GMAT, NMAT, GRE, either have an accredited diploma, or you choose the internal Corvinus exam. So this is your 3 options. If you choose the GMAT, NMAT, GRE, you can earn extra 10 point on your admission score. So that's a sort of benefit if you go into that international standardized STAT procedure. But if not, it's not a problem. You can take our exam. And if your program comes with an interview, that's also will value 30 points. So this is basically how the process looks like. If you have any questions later, we can help you. Just a few words about the full-time MBA, because I know that some of you will have the option to apply to this program. The requirements are a little bit different. So you still have to upload your undergraduate degree. No GMAT, NMAT, GRE required at this program. You have to have 3 years of work experience from your graduation. So probably you had to graduate around 2021 to apply to this program now, and you will have to pass an interview with the program director, and that's when your background knowledge, your experience and your English skills will be assessed. So you might see that we don't ask for IELTS, TOEFL, or Duolingo English Test or Masters. It's because we have different requirements. So if you have an IELTS, you can't apply to master's programs at all. You can only use those on the undergraduate programs. And one more important thing when it comes to master's application, that you have to do a credit recognition process. That means that you have to bring certain amount of credits from your bachelor program to your master's program. In Europe, we use the ECTS credit system. On the website, you can see how you can calculate your credits to ECTS. And each master's program has its own minimum credit requirement. In case of marketing, for example, that's like 5 credits, which is really low. I don't know, when it comes to public policy, for example, that's around 20 or 30 credits at least. So we will have these, I can show you, maybe it's not here. We have Excel sheets that we can send you if you are curious about your chosen program, what's the minimum requirement. So you only have to meet with the minimum credit requirement. There's also a maximum. So if you're missing some credits in between, you will have to do catch-up courses. This will be told you beginning of the semester that there are some extra courses that you will have to register. Also on the application side of the program details, you can see that what are the minimum credit requirements, but we can also help you with this Excel because later on you will need it when we ask you to check on your credits. And this is all I wanted to tell you about the admission procedure. Now I would like to ask one of our ambassadors, first of all, Nurgul, to come next to me and talk about her program and her experience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nurgul. And shortly about my background, I'm from Kazakhstan, from small city. And if there's anyone from Kazakhstan, I think you'll know the schools in Kazakhstan called Nazarbayev Intellectual Schools. So I studied in one of these schools. I studied data science and business program in Corvinus University. I'm also like a Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship holder. Shortly about my major is actually a brand new major in Corvinus University. Why I chose this path? Because I was deeply interested in mathematics, in computer science, but unfortunately for Kazakhstan students from Kazakhstan, there are no available scholarships in the field of computer science or in the field of computer engineering. So I decided to move into this field, and fortunately, Corvinus University decided to open this program since this year. So I study data science in business, what we do in general. Data science in business is mostly focused on mathematics, like analyzing data you have and making insights from them. So we help businesses to analyze their data from the past, make some insights, and make analysis from these outcomes. That's basically what our major is about. So as it also mentioned before, I also study in one of the most new campuses, Gellert, and I also live there in the Gellert Dormitory. So I'm the so in general, Gellert Dormitory is pretty student-friendly dormitories and student-friendly campuses. It was specifically designed for data science students with a lot of data labs with computers, brand new computers, with, for example, makerspace where you can make a lot of experiments using 3D printers and so on. Also, our senior students in the campus, they organize a lot of events for freshmen, for second-year students. For example, recently we had this movie night and culture nights where we discover Hungarian culture as well. In general, Corvinus University is pretty well known for being student friendly in general. Our university organizes a lot of events for international students and both for Hungarian students. For example, recently we had a grand hall dinner where we like gathered all international students together. We had a great dinner. We had a great time together, and but that's not it. We have, for example, some career-specific events like business festivals where you can just get to know a lot about internships, a lot about companies in Hungary, and so that's basically all of the opportunities our university provides to students.
And for next, I would like to invite our other international student ambassador, Michael. So please welcome him.
Hi guys, my name is Michael Giraldo. I'm a Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship holder. Right now I'm doing a Bachelor in Communication and Media Science. I'm from Colombia, by the way. This is my first semester, and if you're passionate about developing persuasion skills and you're really passionate about communication, you're dreaming about working on PR or also in journalism, communication and media science is the perfect bachelor. Why do I chose Corvinus? Because Corvinus is one of the most prestigious university here in Hungary. So you will have a lot of advantage out of other students from the country. Also, Corvinus University is very student friendly, very international student friendly. Like I have a friend group. Well, my friends are from all over the world, and also there's a lot of support events for international students. So you're gonna feel welcome here. That's the good thing. Also, teachers are very prepared. They have whole years of experience, so you will receive the whole quality education. And also, even though I'm not in dormitories or Geller campus, there's a lot of housing for students, a lot of apartments. Also, you can search in Facebook groups for roommates. There's a lot of specific location for students. The city is very student friendly, so you don't have to worry about being lost because you'll find people from your country or from other countries that are going to help you out in the city. The city, if you like culture, art, and history, is full of museums, art galleries, contemporary art, like the history behind Hungary that has a lot. So you'll never get bored of the city. There's a lot of things to do. And well, with my bachelor, you will have great communication skills for debates, also for public speaking. And there's a lot of internships that you can start since you start your bachelor. And there's big companies. For example, on November, we had business career fair that my colleague mentioned before, and there were companies like P&G, La Rochelle Laboratories, Huawei, UN, if you're interested in international relations. So there's a lot of opportunities in Corvinus, and you will always feel supported by the community and also by the university itself. Thank you.
So thank you for both of our international student ambassadors. Just so you know, we have more student ambassadors. If you have any question related to another program, to master's program, to another country that you are coming from. So also Nurgul and Michael is available for questions if you're coming from Kazakhstan or Colombia or to their program, but I can also help you to get connected with other ambassadors. And just as a reminder, before we turn to the Q&As, I would like to highlight a few things from the webinar. Later on in the application process, we will hold more webinars, for example, for the nominated students and around the entrance exams. and also to students who got the scholarship awarded. So stay tuned, because we will give into more details to your arrival to Hungary and to Corvinus. As I said, make sure to read the call for application on Stipendium's website. It's a very complex document with all the requirements. And make sure that you check your emails regularly, because either me, Saba, or the admission team via Dream Apply or somewhere, or Tempus will message you regarding one of your documents or something that's coming up. Make sure that you are not late, because, as I said, this is a university application. Make sure you take it seriously, you plan ahead, you prepare to your exams, to your documents. So just be proactive and independent. And now I think we can turn on the Q&A session. Also, subscribe to our newsletter if you're interested about Corvinus life and just everything related to Budapest and Corvinus. Here you can see our contact that some of you already knows, but later on, take a screenshot. You can check it back later on YouTube. So now Saba will also tune in, and we will check some of your questions.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can see me. Great to listen to all the previous presenters. I am the Saba whose name you probably heard a couple of times throughout the presentation, and I feel so good to be a part of this and help you with the questions, because only a year and a half ago I was exactly in your position, going through the very same way, and I know how helpful this is. So thank you, Vicky. Thank you, ambassadors, to all of our other colleagues. It was very comprehensive, and now we will move to the questions. We have quite a few actually accumulated in the inbox, but let's start with, for example, this one. I have heard that some universities don't tolerate being the second choice. Is this the case for Corvinus too? I can answer this one. Definitely, there's no difference in the entrance examination between the second or the first choice throughout the application process. You will be assessed with the same fairness, let's just say, no matter if it's your first choice or the second one. The only thing is that if you basically gain the admission, for example, you have your first choice as Corvinus and second choice is ELTE or other university, it doesn't really matter. If you get enrolled in your first choice, you will have to go to the first choice university. So that is the main point about this question. The second one, how many recommendation letters can we send? Vicky, if you want to.
Maybe you have more experience.
Oh, okay, sure. No problem. As for me personally, the recommendation, I haven't even submitted the recommendation letter at all, because for stipendium, for master's and bachelor's level, recommendation letter is simply not mandatory. It is optional, so there's a field in there, and if I'm not wrong, you can send as many as you want. So feel free to send the recommendation letters out, but it is not mandatory whatsoever. That's a long question. There's a section to write a general motivational statement. Additionally, there's an option to upload a motivational letter. Should this uploaded letter be tailored specifically to each program? Yes, usually the way it is, as I've said, is that people sometimes have one other university and one Corvinus, for example. You will have to write separate motivational letters for both. And as per the, I think that answered it pretty much. Some of the questions are more admissions related. We have already emphasized on this, but as this is a very new aspect that we have just added to our admission system, we can just repeat ourselves too. What is the deadline to submit the GMAT score? Vicky, you already mentioned this, so if you want to repeat.
Yes, so for scholarship applicants, it's 1st of April, but make sure you submit it earlier.
Mm-hmm. How are the nominations done by my country? How do I get in touch with the nominator? This is a really good question. This is the only one of the only stages of the applications that we do not really participate in. That is the screening of the sending partner in your country. And the way this could be done, where you can search for the sending partner, is going to the Stipendium Hungaricum website, which I think was also included in the presentation. And there's a field saying partners. And once you click on the partners section, you will see the sending partners from each and every country. You just indicate where you're from, and it will show you what institution administers the screening process in your country. So that's really the easiest way to do that. What should include in medical certificate? I can answer this one too. The medical certificate is usually done only after you're nominated. And it includes, there is a form on Stipendium Hungaricum website for it as well. Sometimes it is different. I know that, for example, 5 years ago, it was slightly different, but it mainly includes the statement from a doctor that you have been vaccinated against the very well-known and very popular vaccinations. And that, for example, COVID or B hepatitis, C hepatitis, and so on and so on. And you will also need to get your lungs checked out. So that will be in the medical certificate, but that comes at a later stage of the application. So that should not be the primary, the thing to worry about now. Can we get the link for this presentation at the end? That's for you.
Yes, this whole webinar will be available on YouTube, so you can watch it back anytime. Those who join later, and I see some questions appearing that we already mentioned, just make sure that if we didn't pick your question because it came later, just watch back the webinar because probably the answer is going to be in there.
Mm-hmm. How does mathematics test look like? Do we need to have our camera on or to be at a special place? I think you also mentioned this one.
Yes, it's a proctored exam. So yes, you just have to be a quiet, calm place, like Saba right now, just in a plain, normal environment. That's all.
And make sure your network is stable because it's really fully online. So if there are some fluctuations, that might cause some complications. Can I apply with the national identity when my passport is not ready? So you can apply with your national identity only if you're an European Union citizen, but as Stipendium Hungaricum is not really available for the European Union citizens, it has to be the passport. The good thing, although, is that you can upload the missing documents until, for Stipendium, it's the 1st of August. So you have plenty of time to get your passport ready if it's not ready currently. How do we know if our university is AICSB or EQUIS accredited?
So all these accreditation has their own website. So you either go to their website and check their members list because they have a membership list filtered to countries and faculties, or you can also ask your university faculty if your degree is accredited or not.
Absolutely. If I study at Corvinus University, can I apply for a Stipendium Hungaricum next year? That's also a really good question, something that we haven't mentioned. Yes, you could if you qualify based on the criteria of your nationality, for example. Yes, you can apply, but there are some preconditions for that. First, you need to have your current GPA, the semester GPA, higher than your course's average. And based on this, the university will give out the recommendation for scholarship. And the second one, of course, you have to get nominated by your sending partner. Then is the step that I mentioned. We will give you the recommendation letter if your GPA meets this requirement. And the third step, the final one, is that the campus should give you the funding. So pretty generic process. The second stage is just different. You don't have to participate in the entrance exams, obviously, because you are already enrolled. Is there any training information for Corvinus exams?
I can.
Yeah, we already.
Yeah, so on the website for the bachelor programs, you can find prep material, apprentice tests for the mathematics. For the master's programs, we will have a prep material for this GMAT type of exam, but at the beginning of next year, so you won't have a lot of time to prepare. But yeah, there will be, and there is.
Mm-hmm. The language of instruction for my high school is English. Do I still need the English test certificate? If so, do you accept the IELTS general training certificate? This is the question we get pretty often on daily basis in the inbox, so I thought it would be important to answer here too. There is a set of exemptions when you do not need to provide the IELTS or TOEFL or any other language certificate, but unfortunately, graduating from a high school, the medium of instruction of which was English, is not one of them. You can check out the exemptions on our website as well, but unfortunately, this is not really an exemption. There was another question about this. For example, like this one, can an English-speaking country be asked for English certificate? So with my understanding, the person means, if I come from an English-speaking country, do I still need to provide the English certificate? And this exactly is one of those exemptions. There is a list of UK government-recognized English-speaking countries, which again, there's a link for that on our website. And if you come from one of those countries, you will not have to provide any of the language certificates. Hopefully that answered the question.
Usually these countries, US, Canada, UK, so these countries. So most of the countries who are eligible for stipendium are not on this list.
Yes, that's also the good point. Thank you, Vicky. Next one, how can we select or choose to take the university test for masters instead of GMAT, for example?
So the admission is happening in a periodic way for scholarship applicants. So as I said, 1st of April that you have to upload your GMAT, MAT, or GRE. The entrance exams takes place in April and May. So if you didn't upload any GMAT, MAT, or GRE, we will assume that you will take our internal exam. And you can also let us know via email or anything. But if you don't have a GMAT on your profile or GRE or NMAT, then it's the Corvinus exam.
Absolutely. So the next one, hope before the entrance test, we're going to receive some example tests to have an idea. Yes, for bachelors, they are already available. For masters, as the test is brand new, we didn't have really the internal test last year's. We are still designing the example of the entrance test, but it will also be available and uploaded to our website. Here we go. Is it allowed to add documents that are missing during the application? I kind of already answered this. Yes, there's a deadline of 1st of August to upload all the missing documents, such as diploma, final transcript, the language certificate, and so on. But please do keep in mind that we will only be able to issue you the unconditional letter of acceptance once you provide us these documents in the summer. So sometimes we used to get answers, the questions like, where is my acceptance letter? But we couldn't issue it because not everything was uploaded. Hello, I have a question related to housing there. As a Stipendium Hungaricum holder, am I guaranteed to stay in the dormitory later? Vicky, if you want to answer, I could do.
Yeah, our team is not in charge of the housing. in this matter, I don't know, I'm asking our ambassadors who are sitting here, maybe you know how that works in this case.
Hello, I'm here again. Actually, you're not really guaranteed to stay in dormitory later because there's a chance that maybe there won't be any places for all of the students from abroad or from like Hungary. So it's better you to like apply first and try it. But if you don't be successful, then you can just look for an apartment in the Budapest, as it was mentioned by my colleague.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nurgul. Let's move on to the next question, and it's basically about visa requirements. This is also an important topic to touch up onto. We have the guide for basically what documents you might need for the visa on our website, but it is important to note that we as a university are not obliged basically to assist with your visa applications. We will, based on my experience, for example, answer some emails that will come in about this. But again, it's your individual prerogative and it's your individual responsibility to find out what the embassies ask for in your country. So the simplest way to do this is to open up the website of the embassy, which is the closest to your region, for example, or your country or your city. And I'm sure there will be requirements. If not, feel free to email them. They will surely get back to you soon with specific requirements.
Exactly. And as I said, we will have other webinars. There will be one for the awarded students who most likely will go for a visa. And that's when we usually talk briefly about the visa requirements. So that's why we are not really mentioning on this webinar.
Okay, these were the questions that I already started. There are some more coming into the chat box, but as I was answering these, I haven't started them. I will take a look and find something that we haven't answered already quickly. Is mathematics exam, for example, required for all bachelor studies? Not for all of them. For most of the programs that are economics or business related, yes, for all of them, but for social sciences, such as, for example, international relations or communications and media science, the mathematics exam is not mandatory. And there have been the questions about which language certificates do we take. We take Cambridge, we take IELTS, TOEFL, TOEIC, we take Duolingo as well. So you can check out the minimal scores on our websites, or they were mentioned in the presentations as well.
Yeah, I also see a question related to this, that what to do if you don't have an English language certificate. I think the easiest way to take the Duolingo English test, that's the cheapest option, probably the easier, definitely easier than an IELTS, for example. So if you need one, I recommend that. It's online, you can do it online and have results in 2 days. So I would go for that option.
One good question also that we get pretty often. For the credit recognition, I saw that on the website there's going to be a form to convert our credits, but it's not available. Do you have a date for when it's going to be available? So we have introduced some brand new programs for this year for masters, and that is why for some of them the credit recognition forms are not available, and because of exactly of this reason, we don't have any other ones listed either. So what we will do is, when we have all of them ready, we will just publish all of those on the website, and you will basically be able to assess your eligibility based on the previous credits. But if you really if you're, for example, already applying, if you do not have time for it, reach out to the email, and I will try to send you the, for example, credit recognition form from the previous year, which probably essentially is going to be the same for the programs that we have been running for several years already. And let's sum it up with this question. At some point, I must decide if, in case I'm not awarded with the scholarship, I want to apply later as a self-funded student. Will I be equally considered if I say, yes, I can or no. So if, for example, let's start from the beginning. As we have said, you will know about your nomination by mid-March. If, for example, you're not nominated, you still have about a month and a half to apply as a self-funded student on our self-funded Dream Apply. But for example, you're nominated, we also accepted you as a university, and then you didn't get the scholarship from the campus, we will still give you the chance to pursue your studies self-funded, and we will contact you about that. Absolutely. There's a tick box in the application, in Stipendium application, in which if you tick it, you say, yes, I will like to be considered as a self-funded applicant in the future. So that's how we will know that we should contact you in case you do not get a scholarship. All right. I think we answered most of the questions at this point.
Yes, if anyone has any other questions, as I showed you, you can check it back. We have an email, you can find it on the website, or you can just watch the webinar back again because most of the answers are there. And I think we can wrap it up at this point.
Absolutely.
Bring back in.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Thank you, colleagues. I think that was a really helpful and informative presentation. I hope our participants agree. We really cannot wait to receive all the remaining applications until the 15th of January. And we cannot wait to embark on this journey with you through the admissions process and to welcome you here at the university later on in the year. So in the meantime, please feel free to get in touch with us. But as my colleague Vicky said, always check the information first, because most of the information is either on the Corvinus website or on the Tempus website, or indeed, if you rewatch this presentation, you will know exactly what the requirements are. I also want to thank our colleague Zsófi, who came in to deliver the formal part of the presentation. And last but not least, Nurgul and Michael. Well done to both of you. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in Budapest, we hope. Yeah.
And one last remark, the best way possible to keep updated about all the news is basically our newsletter and also the social media. So please make sure to follow us on Facebook, where you might be watching this live here, YouTube, Instagram, and all the other social medias that we have. Looking forward to seeing you at the campus next year.